I'm going to tell you some difference between core Java and advanced Java. So architecture wise, core Java is a single tier architecture, and advanced Java it's not two tier, it's more than one. That means two tier, three tier. So it can go like that. Okay, more than one tier. Tier means, I hope you understand, it's a communication channel. Okay, how the communication flow from one to another end. But in advanced Java, we have one to second, second to third. Like that, communication will flow. So that is called tier. Yeah. So these are all the difference between core Java and advanced Java. Anyway, I'm going in detail in the other slides. Okay. So edition, standard edition here enterprise edition, and we have other editions also. I will explain those also. And packages. Package is the foremost of anything in Java. Okay. So here root package. Package means it's just a folder. You can assume it like a folder in our computer. Okay. So folders will contain the class files. Okay. So package means it's a collection of classes. Okay. So here in Java is the root package. Inside that there are a lot of packages are there. Lang, IO, util, okay, and then SQL. Okay. So there are a lot of packages are there. We will see one by one. Okay. And in advanced Java, Java X is the root package. Okay. And as I told, core Java is mainly used for developing general application, that is standalone application. Advanced Java, we can develop web and mobile based application. So topics are totally different between these two, but all the topics we learn in core Java are applicable to advanced Java also. Don't think that core Java and advanced Java entirely different. So unless you learn core Java, you cannot go to advanced Java, because the same concepts only are getting used in advanced Java. Okay. Yeah. So there are Java is mainly used for developing the applications, right? So what kind of applications can be used? So if you so Divya asked one question, right? Why Java is so important, right? So that question can be answered if you know the types of Java applications. So how many applications or what kind of applications we can create using Java, if you understand that, then that question will be answered. Okay, why is Java is so important? Okay, so I tell you, see, there are mainly four different types of applications we can develop using Java. Okay, first is the standalone application, that is core Java application. So standalone means I explained yesterday, right? So it will be running in one single machine and one user, okay, one time. That means one time, at a time, one user, one machine, right? So that is called a standalone application. For example, you have a media player, okay, in your desktop or in your mobile, okay. So at a time, only one person can use it, right? So it cannot be accessed by other person. Okay. So you install antivirus software. Okay. So that antivirus is applicable only to your machine, right? So that cannot be shared to others, right? Or so it is developed in such a way. Okay, you assume that it is developed in such a way that it should be running in only one machine. Okay, antivirus is specific to each system. So this antivirus, media player, PDF reader. So we can read a PDF document using Java. Okay, so these are all examples of standalone applications. Okay, there are a lot of standalone applications. Okay, so I tell you some. I will explain you some real time code also. Okay, So for now, I hope you understand what is standalone application, right? Okay, anyone having any doubt in knowing standalone application, what is standalone application, please let me know. Okay. Next is it's for developers. Standalone Edison. So Edisons, I come to the point next in the next slide. Okay. So this is type of application. So slightly, yeah, it relates to Edison also. Okay, but I will come to that Edison later. Okay. So standalone application means it's a single system application. Okay, and then web application. So as I told, web application is a broader application. So multiple users, multiple machines, same time, multiple users at the same time. Okay, multiple users, multiple machines at the same time. So that is called web application. So if you look at IRCTC, we are all booking tickets, right, at the same time. So 10 o'clock, we need to book a Tatkal ticket. So lot of lakhs of users will be trying to book ticket. Okay, so everyone will be able to access, but anyway, the performance will be different. Okay, based on the application standard, how big the server is. Okay, how the server configuration and applications methodologies. So that all impact the performance of the application, but any user can access it at the same time. IRCTC, you can assume it. Gmail.com. Yesterday I told, right? So Gmail, any user can log into their account at any time. Okay, same Gmail application only, right? And Yahoo. Okay, so these are all example for web application. So we can also develop a web application like that. Third type is enterprise application. So I hope you know the term called enterprise, right? Enterprise means it's a business, okay? Business level or commerce, e-commerce kind of, yeah, e-commerce kind of applications. So Amazon, if you take Amazon, so they are selling the products, right? So we can go and search the products and buy the product. Then sellers will send the product to us, to our home, right? So that is one type of enterprise application. And ICICIbank.com. It's a banking application. That is also a enterprise application. So this kind of applications are called enterprise application. Okay. Fourth one is a mobile application. It is very famous at the time. Okay. Everything is into mobile now, right? So even IRCTC is into mobile. Okay. Gmail is there as a mobile app, right? Yahoo mobile app is there. Amazon mobile app is there. ICICI mobile app is there. So whatever we are running in the internet, okay, that means in the browser, in the desktop or laptop, same thing can be happen in the mobile also. So that is called mobile apps. So we call it as mobile apps, right? The term everyone knows. And also we can develop a mobile games. Games also very famous, right? Many of us are playing games in mobiles, right? So these kind of applications can be developed, okay, using Java. So that kind of application is called mobile based applications. Okay, so I hope you understand the types of applications. Okay, if you have any doubt, stop me, otherwise I will be going to the next one. Okay, so yeah, so coming to the question asked by Divya, she asked why Java is so important, right? See, if you can develop an applications using like this, okay, standalone web application, enterprise. See, all these applications mainly are using Java only, Java technologies. All banking applications, yesterday also I told, all banking applications are using Java technologies because it is very secure. Okay, it's a very secure and platform independent. Okay, and it's a very robust, that means very strong. So that is why we are going into Java. So developing the web applications are very easy rather than earlier technologies like C, C++. Okay, and it is more secure than other languages. Okay, so if you take Python, so Python also you can do same application, you can develop the same applications like Java, but performance wise Java is better than Python. Okay, maybe syntax and developing wise it's Python is better, but performance wise Java is better. It's a secure one. Okay, so that is why people are going to Java based application, and Java is growing like anything. Okay, there are lot of new concepts and new technologies are coming in Java. Okay, so mobile applications, in mobile application there are a lot of things are there. Enterprise application there are Spring Boot, Hibernate. So making the life easier is happening in Java, developers life and also the users life. Okay, so that is why Java is very strong and it's a growing language. Okay, so that is why people are choosing Java. I hope I answered that question, Divya. Can we say mobile application as standalone application? No, we cannot say like that. Mobile application is different, standalone application is different. Okay, standalone application means it's a desktop based application. Okay, another term is desktop application or laptop application. Okay, so mobile application also a kind of a standalone application, but we should not call it as standalone. Okay, mobile application is mobile application. Okay, what is the difference between web app and enterprise all? Okay, see, if you, so we cannot exactly separate the enterprise and web apps. Okay, all are web apps only. Okay, even enterprise applications are web applications. Okay, uh, so how can you differentiate? Means simple applications like without any business. Okay, if you develop any web application, that is called just a web application. Okay, but if you develop a business or e-commerce kind of a application, then it is called enterprise application. Okay, for example, student database. Okay, so student application. So in your college you may have, so I feel you may have some application to access some resources in your colleges, right? So that application is called web application. Okay, that doesn't have any purpose of business, right? It is just to provide you some kind of a knowledge. Okay, some kind of a knowledge. So if you just want to read some articles, okay, for example news portals are all web applications. Okay, but separate enterprise level enterprise created applications are called enterprise application. Okay, I hope you got it. Okay, so in Java there are 4 editions have come at, till now. Okay, first one is a Java standard edition. I explained you in the first slide. Okay, and so the Java standard edition are mainly for core Java based application. So while saying standalone application, does that mean while running that application we cannot run another application on desktop. No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, so you can run hundreds of standalone application in one machine at a time. Okay, but that application can be used by one user. Okay, not multiple users. So suppose if you take gmail.com, multiple users can access at the same time, right? But so if you want to the music player, I told, right? So at a time only one user can be accessed, right? So but multiple applications will be there, like so PDF reader will be there in your machine only, right? And music player will be there, video player will be there, okay, and antivirus will be there. All are kind of a standalone applications, but it will be running in your machine. But whether you will be able to access it, whether the other person will be able to access it or not, that is called standalone application. Okay, yeah. So standard edition is mainly for developing a standalone application, and that means a single system based application. Okay, and enterprise application are mainly for developing web based and enterprise based application. As I told, we can develop both using enterprise edition. Okay, third one is a Java micro edition. So that is mainly used for developing mobile based applications. Okay, so if you want to develop such kind of applications, you need to go for that particular editions. Okay, so if you install only the Java standard edition, then you will not be able to develop web based or enterprise based application. So it's what you choose to install in your machine. Okay, you need to install the Java application first, then only you can run it. Okay, so if you install Java EE, then you will be able to develop both core Java as well as web based application. So it comes both. Okay, EE means both standard and enterprise application you can develop. Okay, and ME is different. Okay, so you can develop a, so in EE enterprise edition you cannot develop a mobile based application, but in micro edition you can develop a mobile based application. Okay, then the fourth one is called a very latest edition, that is Java FX. So it is used, not many people are using this application, this edition at present. Okay, most of the people are using enterprise and micro edition only. Okay, so but it provides rich internet applications. So we can develop a rich internet based applications, and lightweight. It provides some API, lightweight user interface. User interface means whatever the, so suppose PDF reader is a user interface. Okay, Acrobat reader. Okay, that is a user interface. Okay, whatever visually you are seeing, Windows you are seeing, right? Some it will open up window pop up. So that is called user interface. In the Java coding vary between the editions. See, syntax wise same, okay, but it provides extra libraries. Libraries means class files. Okay, so it provides lot of extra uh, services. Okay, so that is what the difference. Okay, coding wise it will not be a different, but execution wise it will be different. How you execute or how you run. For example, standalone application, you can just run it from the command prompt. Okay, but enterprise application, you cannot run it from the command prompt. You need a web server. Okay, without web server, you cannot run enterprise application. Okay, so running wise, it is different. Okay. Yeah. So we will go. I hope you understand. Okay. So not much important to this editions. Okay. So you need not to go in detail about this edition because we need to learn a lot. Okay. At present, we'll go to the next slide. Okay. So this is also not important, but in order to just tell you that these many versions have come in Java. Okay. Till now, and Java 11 also came now. Okay. So it is 10 up to 10 here, but 11 also there now. Okay. So from it started with the alpha and beta edition, then 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and 5.0. So after 1.4, it is called 5.0. Okay. So from this period only, I started learning. Okay. I started with this version. Okay. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are there. Nowadays, 8 is the very famous one. Okay. People are not moving to 9, 10 and all now. If you know 8, then it will be good for you. Okay. Yeah. Java FX, if people are asking, right? Don't worry about Java FX at present. Okay. So I'm not going to take anything under Java FX. Okay. Because even I'm learning things in Java FX. Okay. But nobody is using it at present. Okay. So no need to give much importance to Java FX at present. Okay. Because it is not used very broadly at present. It is coming up. Okay. It's under early stage. Okay. So in yesterday's class, I told you the features of Java, right? So these are all the features of Java. Okay. So if you take, so Java is a object oriented language. Okay. I told in object oriented language system, we have some concepts like class, objects, polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, okay, abstraction. So these concepts are there. Okay. I will explain those concepts. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. So Java is a object oriented language. Okay. And it is very simple language. Okay. Syntax are very simple. Okay. If you take the structure, I told, right, package, then class, then methods or variable. Okay. Java is not 100% object oriented. Yeah, I agree. Okay, because we still use some primitive type like int, float, double, long, and all we are using. Okay, it's there, but not popularly used. Okay, so anyway, it's not 100% object oriented. Okay, yeah, you are correct, Ishwarya. So Java is a very simple language. Syntax are very simple. Okay, you can easily access class, methods, variables. Okay, so it is very simple and it is very secured. I told, right, it provides secured protocols. Okay, so you can run a network-based applications. In network, you can send a files. Okay, in secured manner. You can do encryption, decryption. Okay, so that kind of encryption means I hope you know, right? So safeguarding your data, that is called encryption. Okay, so you can perform all these concepts using Java. That is why it is very secured. Okay, as you all know, it is a platform independent, so we can run it in multiple machines. Okay, multiple OS. So with the help of class file. Okay. And as I told, Java is very strong in nature. It provides a strong memory management capacity. Okay, so that is why it is robust. Okay, and portable. Okay, I hope so. Yesterday I explained, right, and architecture neutral. We call it as architecture neutral. Okay, So we can run it in any kind of architecture. Okay, so that means almost it's kind of a platform. Java is run on OS. Actually, if you take Java is not running on OS, okay, Java has its own environment, but C and C++ are running on OS itself. Okay, it doesn't have its own runtime environment, that is C and C++, but Java has its own runtime environment. Yeah, correct. It run on JVM. Yeah. So Java is very dynamic and interpreted, high performance language. I told multi-threading yesterday. I told. So we will see each of the features when we are going in detail. Okay, I'm just telling you the features alone now. Okay, so we will understand all the features one by one. Okay, anyway, so when we are developing the programs, I tell you the features. I will relate with the features. Okay, so distributed environment. Okay, so that means you can multiple users can access it, right? So that is called distributed. Okay, so these are all the features of Java. Okay, yeah. So next one is the concepts of OOPs. Okay, yesterday also I told object is an instance of class. Okay, if you take real-time world entity, yesterday you people already answered, right? So object means real-time world entity. So if you have a car is an object, real-time object. So you can make the same kind of car kind of application using Java. Okay, so that is why in Java, car is an object. Even inside car, there are a lot of objects, right? Like steering, brake, wheels, okay, and machine, okay, engine. So all these are objects. Okay, you can separate each and every object into a class. Okay, so class means object. Okay, so object is an instance of class, copy of class, Xerox of class. Okay, so we can call it any way. Okay, class means it's a structure. Okay, so Java provides one structure to develop an application. So that structure is what called class. Okay, so inside class you can have a variables. Variables means data. So suppose if you want to suppose user wants to user is entering some value, okay, in the application. For example, you have a gmail.com, right? In the gmail.com login page, you will enter username and password, right? So that username and password value you are entering, that should be, so something should hold that value entered by the user. That is called variable. Okay, so whatever user is entering, or you can even hard code it. For example, if you want to assign 10, okay, that is called variable. So you can assign it to a variable. Variable means it can be varied at any point of time. So you can assign any value during runtime. Okay, at one place it can have a 10. When it goes to another place, it can have a 20. Okay, up to based on your logic. Okay, so it will be having multiple. So that values of variables can be changed at any point of time. That is called variable. Okay, so class means collection of variables and methods. Okay, yeah. So third one is a inheritance. So yesterday I told, right, parent-child combination. Okay, you can make two class, as one is parent and another is child. Okay, so child can inherit some property of parent, some property, not all property. Okay, so if you make a private, then even child cannot inherit the property of parent. Okay, so parent can decide. Okay, So that is called inheritance. Inheritance means inheriting the property of parent from child. That is called inheritance. Okay, we use a keyword called extends to perform this inheritance in Java. Okay, so when we learn coding, you will come to understand. Okay, next one is a polymorphism. Polymorphism, so means you know, right? Doing multiple things based on one single thing. One single thing means either operator or methods. Okay, so plus, yesterday I told, right, plus can be doing two kind of operations. One is a addition of numbers, another is a appending of strings. Okay, concatenate of strings. Okay, so same operator doing more than one operation. Okay, that is called operator overloading. Okay, so then methods, you have a method, right? So with the same name, you can have a multiple options. For example, you pass a int a comma int b to one method. Okay, calculate. There is a method called calculate. Okay, so in that method you can pass a two integer arguments. Okay, then it will add that value. Okay, suppose if you pass two characters or two strings to the same calculate method, okay, then it will concatenate. Or if you pass some decimal point values, that means float values, okay, then it will do some multiplication. Okay, same method with different parameters, it will do different operation. That is called overloading. Okay, and overriding is done in the child class. Okay, I will explain that programmatically so that you will understand easily. Okay, then abstraction. Abstraction is data hiding. Okay, using interface we can perform this. Okay, so one interview question is, can we overload a main method? Okay, this is an interview question. If anyone can answer, that is good. Can we overload a main method? Okay, so without main method you cannot run a Java program. Okay, so main method can be only one in a program, but can we overload main method? This is a interview question. Okay, it's up to you to answer. Okay, and so last one is a encapsulation. Encapsulation means data binding. Okay, so you are binding a class or variables or methods into one single unit. Okay, so that is called encapsulation. Okay, so here we have a private, public, and protected. Private means that can be accessed only within the class. Okay, that means private variables are private methods. Okay, so methods or privates, you can make it as private. Okay, so that means it will be accessed to only one class, single class, same class. Okay, public means any class can access it from outside of the class. Yeah, main method can be overloaded. Okay, so if it can be overloaded, which main method will be called by the compiler or interpreter? So which one will be called? Overridden anyway, that is not at all a question. Okay, so it's not at all relevant. Okay, overridden cannot be done. Original main method only called. Why? Okay, so that questions will go on. Okay, so why only original main method will be called? Okay, so there is a reason for everything. Okay, why main method should have only string array argument? Okay, that is a question. Okay, so I hope you understand this encapsulation concept. Private means only within the class, Okay, public means from outside of the class I can access. Protected means only parent, only child class can access. Okay, not other classes. Okay, so accessing the parent class from child class, that is protected. Okay, so this is called OOPS concept.